Look at this crap. I've just been actually editing some letters in Photoshop, right? And they're on an album cover, some letters. And then I uploaded them from my computer Photoshop straight to TuneCore, right? And now that's on my computer. On my phone, I'm getting this Nathan crap with small and larger letters. Just like I've been editing on the computer, exactly. Made a couple of letters bigger and smaller. I can't live like this. This is not helping me in life. This is a blatant power display. It's making a political point. It's strangers. All his lives, they say, don't speak to strangers, don't speak to strangers. We are not even speaking. We're not even talking to strangers. We're going about our own private business. And then Google are showing off that they know what we've been doing on our computer. And I didn't even... when I uploaded the image, right, this is what I was doing on my computer, changing sizes of letters, right, with Photoshop. When I uploaded them, I'd actually got them to the right size. And it was some letters I'd replaced, and I'd actually got them quite similar, matching. So it's actually, I think that this is some sort of AI that has actually been watching what I've been doing on my computer. It's more like that than just merely an image that I've uploaded through the Chrome browser onto TuneCore. Where is confidentiality anymore? And this is the thing that we're talking about with complaining to 38 degrees. When you are doing petitions, right, and you're sending private messages about petitions, not the thing that you're publishing to the public. When you publish to the public, right, you're publishing it to the public. On 38 degrees, you can send private messages. Now, that a petition is a legal case, and private messages for a legal case are confidential, like court letters and so forth. So what about when you're on the website, on the internet, and you go onto a lawyer's website, right, and you're typing stuff in? That means that Google are basically got a record of your keystrokes and what you're typing in when you're contacting a lawyer or, the police or prosecutor or anything. So there are actually legal implications, not to the fact that, through some of my court cases before, I was getting mail arrived opened. I've actually had something go missing in Royal Mail now. A parcel, what was supposed to return to me, has just vanished. So I can't actually... They've never asked permission for this. And Parliament and Congress have just played dumb. We get Nick Clegg saying, the government are a little bit behind. So what happens? Bill Gates pops up with Michelle Donlan, buys her a personal new Department of Innovation and Technology. Yet they knew all about what Google and YouTube were up to because they've been contacting them all the time to take stuff down. Suddenly, when they want things taken down, they're up to speed with technology. They get the latest technology. They are getting a special department, 77th Brigade. They're getting computers. We're up to speed now. But when it's us wanting our privacy or wanting our YouTube channels put back up, which are protected, publishing with a required legal requirement, the Petitions Committee they're actually the most despicable people on the face of this planet. Martin Day is absolutely despicable. And that Geordie Labour woman, they're worse than Rees-Mogg on GB News. And, we've heard the Select Committee Chairman say what he's got to say about that matter. And he's the Select Committee Chairman, right? And he... he's meant to be, a professional person, because he's in charge of that committee. So, he wouldn't say that if he didn't believe he was right. We've got issues We've got serious issues. There are serious issues with this technology they're using. And even if they didn't start showing us these images, they're using it anyway. It's not actually acceptable. It's all the implications of it, that they've just turned it on, basically. They've like switched it on and activated it, right? Without asking any permission. It's nearly as bad as the virus. It's nearly as bad as the virus leak from Wuhan. I think it is nearly as actual bad as the whole pandemic situation, because they call computer, when they used to have any, like, all these Trojans or things like that, something which affects your computer system, they call it a virus or something that spreads on, right? These are viruses. This software, someone at Google said, right, we've designed this novel technology, we're just going to unleash it, right? Like a virus. And it's going to have effect on people. And we don't really know what that effect's going to be, right? And they never made an announcement on the news. They never said, right, like fucking Independence Day or Thanksgiving or, Biden in front of the American flag with a ribbon and some scissors. At least the mayor has the decency to go, with a big ribbon and a big pair of scissors. Like YouTube have got the new scissors logo popping up. They never asked about that either. At least when they set a ship sailing, at least someone turns up with a bottle and smashes a bottle, a wine open on it when the ship, sets into the water. Nothing like that. No Judgment Day. I want to shut them down. I just for the fact that they're just doing what they want to us, and it's the personal space. When these tech people pitched mobile phones to us, when they sold us these phones, they said, oh, it's customizable. You can have it exactly how you want. You can set your text style, your text color. You can change the colors of your screen background, right? You can choose your phone in what you want. That's a selling point. Why is it now that all of the changes are coming from their end? Oh, we've updated your app. Oh, we've updated the app image. Oh, now we're making the app work differently. Oh, now you'll have to wait 5 seconds. Now you'll have to skip. Now you'll have to watch these ads. Consent. Oh, consent to letting us do this to you. Consent to having this information. Consent to these new novel technologies working on you. Psychological effects on you. Consent to all this. Actually, just a minute. You're completely and totally changing all my phone apps and my data from your end, and I actually can't change it. Now you've got to swipe up left 6 times to go back from a video, like Oppo. Changes that I don't want. And this is their selling pitch. Oh, you can customize it. No, actually, no, now we're customizing you, right? Everything that we were ever told about strangers, ever warned, these people are it, and we have got to consent and admit to it. And then you've got Rishi Sunak talking about embracing us, putting his arms around us. What he's actually doing is Sunak is putting his arms around us and putting his hand in his back pocket and taking his wallet out. That's what he's doing. And he's not only doing that, he's slipping, whispering in your ear. You know what I mean? We've got to stop this. And Nick Clegg and Mark Zuckerberg, I think Zuckerberg should go to prison. And probably Elon Musk as well, and the European Parliament taking free speech away, or claiming they're taking away free speech, when I can't see how they can take it away from, Parliament petitions, because they got legal proceedings in Europe. It's just the fact that they're doing it. It's almost like rape. You don't have a say in it. These things have got effect on a psychology, let alone physical body, and they don't ask permission. By the time all these corporate entities know every single thing we're doing, and then we end up not speaking to each other, not trusting each other, and blocking and banning each other. They're trying to make us get annoyed with the slightest little thing that we don't like from other people. And because we're getting so annoyed from these companies and from like the police not respecting us' rights, what happens is we end up taking it out on each other. And because we can't actually stop these local councils from, approving planning permission, no matter how hard we try, because we can't actually do anything about these companies who can block, ban, remove you for any reason or no reason, we end up taking it out on each other, on our fellow people. Then we block them, ban them, because they've given us the buttons. And what we end up doing is like some sort of police force against each other, right? Putting each other in cells, basically, cell block H. And then what happens is we don't have the power to do out to these people above us in a hierarchy. They're literally turning all into cops who are copying each other, but in this hierarchical order, and we're actually being abused. Used and abused. And then, because we get frustrated with the police not upholding rights and the MPs just ignoring us. Even professors, academics are writing professional letters, the highest, intellectual capacity letters you can write into these companies, Ofcom, into ministers, into the local MPs, and they're getting cast aside, disregarded, undermined. This is evidence that we're getting from professors, academics. They're just ignoring. We are being more than managed. We're being bossed, and I don't like it. And the fact that it's all illegal anyway. YouTube have illegally removed channels. YouTube have illegally removed videos, and all of these sites are listening into us private messages. When forums first started, people who designed them, all of the private messages were encrypted, right? So people, when you have a forum package, all the messages are meant to be encrypted. So even the owner of the website wasn't supposed to be, couldn't look at people's mail. Now, when you go on 38 Degrees, we've all got legal cases, they're reading all emails, they're reading them and they're checking them before they even let us send them internally, it's literally, can you imagine if your postman or, Royal Mail checked, read all of your legal letters? They're meant to be confidential, and there's no reason why they'd open them unless it couldn't get delivered and it had to be returned to sender. Usually confidential letters have the sender's return address on the outside of the envelope, or for customs reasons. But even then, it's questionable if it's marked as documents and confidential. There's no reason to check it at customs because documents are exempt from customs. And the only reason that you would check it is for, if it wasn't. Because you don't pay on documents anyway, So this is what we're on with now. I really don't like this. I think that I see it as a wind-up. What they want is they want to try and get us used to it, so it's not annoying us. They don't want it to annoy us. They don't want it to bother us, right? And I think that that's dangerous because it would be almost like, this is the thing with even your best friends. You don't, they don't look at anything, even people's parents sometimes. They're trying to make it everything that you were cautious about with strangers. They're trying to make it you be comfortable and okay with it when it's the company, the enterprise. Oh, it's all right, it's just Jeff Bezos. It's only Elon, and Mark, and their staff. Well, what staff? Oh, you don't need to know their names. They just need to know all your information, and then they're actually making money out of it, and then, they own it. And then they're going to use it to gauge your capacity, gauge your personal financial capacity, gauge your intellectual capacity, and then they're going to, give you a number. And then they're going to, see what side you're on, what groups you're in. And then they're going to put you into these categories. And then they're going to decide whether or not you should be moving around, or whether or not you should be staying in your own town, or whether you're allowed to use the bus, or whether you're allowed to turn up at a protest. Or whether you should be on their team. Oh, she's performing well. It's like Dragon's Den. Oh, I might recruit them onto our team. Making an arrangement. So I think they go to that cafe on a Tuesday. Have Alan Sugar turn up at that cafe, but don't tell anyone that I told you that I told them to turn up there. And then, and we see, let's have a look what she looks like. There's the contact. There's Alan Sugar at a coffee shop at 6 o'clock. Hello there. Could I just manage to buy you a coffee? Oh, certainly, strange man. Buy me a coffee. Oh, what brings you here on this day? Oh, I'm just here having a coffee, and then, dun 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 dun, like one for the team, one for the Dragon's Den team. This is it. This is what I don't like about it. Beam me up, Scotty. This is the whole Charles Andrew Starship Enterprise, freaking Manchester United dream team, insidious background cogs world that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk dream of, and the World Economic Forum and Bill Gates. And then, while everyone's mesmerized with the kaleidoscopic metaverse, I just don't like it as an idea. Because who are they at the end of the day? Who are they? I don't appreciate Zuckerberg at all. I don't appreciate the coding on his website. I don't appreciate the planning on his website. I don't appreciate the ideas. I don't appreciate anything. He's a guy who's dicking around, and someone happened upon him and said, oh, there's a guy dicking around with some internet. Oh, he's the right guy for the job. It's just Mark. And then they pulled some levers like on a fucking tram line on a railway. And then all of the advertising flowed into it. And Mark's bank account started going ding, 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 like this. Because someone in big governments pulled a big lever like this, and the train lines moved, dig, 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 ting, and clicked in, and all the traffic flowed in, just like Jeff Bezos' Amazon. Here's a man for the job, right? And it wasn't them. It wasn't their talent. I do not believe it was them. Because things are arranged like Harry Potter. Oh, here's a promising woman from Edinburgh writing stories in a flat. Yes, it could be you. Yes or no. Where she stops, no one knows. This is it. Oh, it's just J.K. Rowling. Oh, yes, perfect woman for the job. Pull the big lever. Ching, 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 ching. Allow money to, yes, it's okay. It's just J.K. Rowling. She's safe with the money. It's Elton John. What's he going to do? What's Elton John going to do? Other than, eat pies and, play music, and rake in tax for the government, although not having to pay taxes because they'll be on a tax avoidance scheme, fame, this guy likes fame, this guy likes fortune. This guy likes to be worshipped as fans, and he also likes to play music as long as he's making a song for Diana and the Royals. This is it. All due respect, but this is my opinion. Levers are pulled for people who, they can trust with the money, that they're not going to, do the Robert F. Kennedy on them or the Marianne Williamson on them, or they get pulled from MSNBC, or they get pulled from CNN. They don't even want them on the show. It's literally, I don't actually have any contempt or bad feelings for some of these people, but, if Elton John would have been like RFK from the start, he wouldn't have got the job. He wouldn't have got it. They check these people out. And that is what they're wanting to do with us now. It's this, they've checked Mark out, they've checked Cleggy out, they've checked him out, and they're being approved, given the stamp. And now we all have to be filtered and checked into the shaken into the right categories and classes, you know, so the government can put us all into categories to make sure which ones can play for. Come on down, line up for Simon Cowell. You know, who wants to be famous and make loads of money? You know, this is it. This is the problem. I don't like any of it at all. None of it. I don't care how novel the technologies are. Burgers have been novel for the last, since McDonald's and KFC, and now we're figuring out it was a bad idea. You know, I think that it should be shut down. The whole thing. You know, the whole, all this crap, novel technology, just like novel foods that need to be shut down. You know, like McVitie's and so forth.